Yes then YouTube, we are back with another video on the Wolf of an Aston Villa podcast, brought to you by myself, Connor Wolf. Please drop this video a like, drop a comment down below. I do reply to every single comment without fail, and also hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Also, I'm proudly sponsored by Luke Roper, so if you do want to check his website out, luke1977.com, link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF20, all one word, for 20% off your whole order. So without any further ado, today's video, it's a good one. I like it. In my opinion, can Aston Villa finish in the Champions League spot? Now, I think this season, I think fifth spot gets Champions League, so it's not the traditional top four like it has been for many a year. I think fifth spot will creep into the Champions League because of how well English teams have performed in Europe over the last couple of years. So, do I think Aston Villa can finish in the top five this season? I'm going to go out on a whimper and I'm going to say, yes, we could, but it is going to be extremely difficult. I'm going to start off by saying how I think the top four will finish. I think it will be Man City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, Man United fourth. I think that's pretty set in stone in my opinion. I think maybe Man United could have a bit of a disappointing season, but I think Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal will definitely be the top three in that order. I then think from like fourth down to seventh and eighth, I think there's quite a few teams that are in that category. You've got Villa, Brighton, Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea. I think there's quite a few teams in there that will fancy their chances of finishing high up. I've got a little bit of an opinion on Brighton that I don't think Brighton are going to be as good this season. I just think losing McAllister, Caicedo, that I think will definitely leave. I think they're two really elite level players, and I know Brighton continually always do buy these better players. Like, they just seem to almost like just spawn them out of the ground, don't they? These players that then just come in. But I think eventually that will catch up with them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is this season. But I do hope Brighton do have a good season. I do like Brighton. So do I think Aston Villa can finish in that fifth spot? I really think we could. Now, I'm going to show you something here, YouTube. This is, in my opinion, the team that we are likely to see the most. I think this could be the best team that we're going to see. Now, obviously, Moreno and Ramsey are injured at the minute, but I'm talking over the course of the season, I've got a feeling this might be the best 11 that we've got at Villa. I think there are a couple of places up for grabs. I think Diego Carlos could easily stake a claim in this team over Mings or Konsa. I really do think Yuri Tielemans in pre-season has looked really good as well. So I'm thinking maybe Yuri Tielemans comes in instead of McGinn or Ramsey in our best 11. I also think Buendia against Newcastle was really good. So I think we could see like a Buendia start. I think Watkins and Diaby, though, up top here in these like two striker roles, I think that's an absolute shoo-in. I think Torres, Martinez and Moreno are an absolute shoo-in. I also think Luiz and Kamara as well are pretty much a shoo-in for the midfield pivot. So I think this is our best 11 on paper, bar a couple of changes. And I really think this team is as good as anyone's in that level in terms of like to challenge the Champions League. But where I then think we've got the edge is Unai Emery. Yes, the man, the don, the myth, the legend. I think Unai Emery for us has got a really big part to play. Now, if you look at his points per matches over his whole career, at Aston Villa so far, it's 1.81. I think if we take that over the course of the season, that finishes us on 68 points. Now, I don't actually know what the top four, top five was last season, but I think 68 points is around about what you'll need to finish fifth. So, if Unai Emery just continues on the trajectory and continues to get the same points per game, I think we will finish in the Champions League. And if you actually have a look, bar his time at Almeria, they are all around the 1.7, 1.8 mark. Of course, PSG well high up at 2.42, but that's obvious, they're PSG. Arsenal 1.85, Villarreal 1.78. Spartak Moscow. Wow, I didn't even know. Wow. Oh, he was only there for a couple of months. I was going to say, I didn't even know Unai Emery managed at Spartak Moscow. He was there 147 days. Fair enough. But if you have a look, he's actually got a very similar record everywhere he goes. Bar the obvious one, PSG, of course, where you do win nearly every game there because it's just so much better than everyone else. Now, and this is where I think we do have the edge. I think Unai Emery will, this season, really give us that edge in terms of, I think we'll get around about 65 to 70 points. I really do. I don't know who will get into the top 5 instead of blah, blah, blah. I think we will get around that 65 to 70 points. I think the team that we've got, and also not even the starting 11, I think now we've actually got a really good squad. I think, like, for example, if you were to bring in Tielemans over Luiz, I don't think you'd really notice a drop-off. I mean, you could argue over pre-season Tielemans was better than Luiz, right? If we bring in a Tielemans over Ramsey, you could argue that's probably even better, but I really like the way Ramsey plays and his ability to drive forward with the ball. Moreno, Digne, I do think there is a drop-off there. I do think Moreno is quite a bit better than Luca Dean. I think the striker positions, though, is where I think Watkins and Diaby will have to play every single league game for us. If we have like a Watkins injury and then we start an Archer, although I really like Archer, I do. I think Archer is good, but I think there is a massive drop-off between Watkins and Archer right now. I think Archer in a couple of years' time can improve massively to get up to that level, but I like the team, I really do. I think everywhere's solid in that team, and I think the more and more the season goes on, Unai Emery can get his point across of how he wants to play. I firmly believe we could finish 5th. I really do. Maybe even 4th. I think we could. I know some rival fans might call me deluded in the comment section. Let me know. I'm friendly. I will agree or disagree with your comment. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying if we can play to the same level that we did last season with them better players that were brought in, for example, Pau Torres, I think he might take a little bit of time to settle, but he will be our best centre-back. Moussa Diaby, a humongous upgrade on Leon Bailey. I can't even begin to imagine how much of an upgrade that is. And I think Yuri Tielemans in the midfield. I think the biggest compliment I can give to Yuri Tielemans is that I will not be worried if Yuri Tielemans starts a game for us instead of Luiz and Kamara at all. If anything, I think as the season goes on, I think Yuri Tielemans could actually force his way into that best 11 team. I think he really could. But what I'm saying is like, I really don't see much of a difference between the Aston Villa side, the Chelsea side, the Tottenham Hotspur side, especially if they sell Harry Kane. I think if they sell Harry Kane, they are done for this season. I just think they'll have a really poor season if they sell Kane. Man United, I'm a little bit like, I don't know how their season's going to go. I've heard a lot of murmurings this season, like in terms of pre-season, that Erik ten Hag wasn't happy with the American tour in pre-season and stuff like that. So maybe they will not be as good as they were last season. I do think, though, Mason Mount, Højlund and Onana, they are good signings, especially Onana. I think Onana for them will definitely propel them up a level. I think he's a lot better. I think he's just, now in 2023, I just think he's a much better goalkeeper than David De Gea, really. I just think he is. I just think he's so much better. But I'm just saying, I don't really think there's a lot of difference. I think the top 3 are set in stone. I think Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal will be the best 3 teams this season. I really think Liverpool might have a good season. I've got Salah and Darwin Núñez in my FPL, by the way. I think they really are going to have a good season. But I think below that, I really think it's anyone's game. And one big thing, actually, which I haven't mentioned, which I forgot, a lot of it all depends on Aston Villa in terms of how we can cope with the Thursday-Sunday routine. We have seen it with West Ham over, especially last season. Although, I think with West Ham, it is a little bit of David Moyes. I don't think he's the right man for West Ham at the moment. But it can really hamper you playing that Thursday-Sunday routine. And I think the added bonus that we've got compared to Brighton with the Thursday-Sunday routine is, in the Conference League, touch wood, our group games won't be hard, so we can actually play a lot of the youngsters. I don't think the group games will be the ones that affect us. I think it will be if we get through the groups, which I fully expect us to, when we start playing the decent teams that are coming down from the Europa League, etc., that we will then have to obviously play our strongest team, and that's when the Thursday-Sunday routine is going to hit us. Because I think in the group games, you will see Jadon Philogene start most of them. You'll see Cameron Archer start most of them. I think Emi Martinez will play most of them, but I just think you'll see like Yuri Tielemans and these type of players. They will play a lot of football in the Conference League group games, definitely. When we then get into the knockouts is when it's going to get interesting, because then Emery might have to prioritise. If we're say we're like 9th in the league come like February, I think Emery then will prioritise the Conference League, and then of course we've got no chance of top 5, top 4, whatever you want to call it. But if we are like, say we're 5th in the league in November and we've got a real chance of qualifying for the Champions League by the league positions, right? That's when it becomes interesting, because that's when it's up to Unai Emery to then try and manage his squad. You know, maybe in the away leg you go for the best team, but in the home leg you can rest a few players, maybe. Or maybe if we're playing like a Luton at home, we can rest a couple of players in that game. You know, that's when the squad management will really come into it. But I'm excited for this season. I think we definitely could finish 5th. I'm going to go out on a whimper, though, and say that I think we will finish 6th. I think we'll finish 6th in the league. And I also think we will have a real chance. You know what I'm going to say? I think we'll finish 6th, and I think we will win the Conference League. I think that will be our season this season. That's if we don't sign any more players. Obviously, if we were to then sign a João Felix on loan or a Ferran Torres, who I think we will sign another attacker. I think we will. I think it will be like the longer and longer João Felix stays at Atletico Madrid without a move, I think we're a real player in there for like a year-long loan. I really do. Because it'll come to us, he'll play every week. And then if we were to sign him, I think you then see Diaby go over to the right. And you see like Felix come over here. And that's how then I think you'd see the team line up. You see like João Felix here in the McGinn role. I've just put McGinn there. I don't mean to drop McGinn. But you'll kind of see like João Felix go up here alongside Watkins in that like number 10 second striker role. You'll see Diaby hug the wide right, which we've seen Jaden Philogene do in pre-season. And then I'll tell you what, at that point, I really do believe we've got a chance at top 4. I really do. But until then, who knows? We're just going to have to see how the season goes. So yeah, if you are new around here, please drop this video a like. Drop a comment down below. Let me know in the comment section, where do you think, if you are a Villa fan or if you're not a Villa fan, where do you think Aston Villa are going to finish this season? And can we finish in the Champions League spot? Remember, 5th gets Champions League as well this season. So can we do it? Thank you for watching. Remember, oh, and also hit that subscribe button to this channel. That would mean the world to me. The quicker we can get this channel up on the road, the better. Although I really want to say a huge thank you to anyone that has watched the video so far. It's done way better than I thought it would. I thought we would be getting around like 10, 20 views a video. Of course, it is just me, myself setting up. We will get guests on and stuff like that in the future. But at this moment in time, it is just me. So I just want to say a huge thank you for that. So yeah, hit that subscribe button to the channel. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love. Up the Villa.